So my name is Paul Porter. Currently I run a company called Discover 4x4 Adventures. After 20 years of off-roading, these are 5 memorable moments I've had. So number 1 comes from 2020. In 2020 we were supposed to go to Moab, but because of we ended up staying closer to town, and we spent a week in Tennessee and spent our last day on the way home in Kentucky. When we were heading out to the trails, there was a steep uphill climb which actually had a large divot in it, and I was the first one up that climb, and when we hit that, it caused us to basically get up on 3 wheels lifting the front end. And again, we were about a 30-degree grade going up, so it caused the vehicle to almost flip over. Got to the top, my heart racing, told the guys on the radio what to expect. My buddy Brian was the next one up, and I have footage of him actually getting tires off the ground there. Whoa! It's the same thing I did. Whew. Dude, my hands are still like shaking like a leaf. Look at that. After his experience, everyone else backed out of that climb. Number 2, actually probably one of the most beautiful sunsets I've ever seen. This happened actually just last year in 2022. On day 1 out in Ouray, Colorado area, it rained in the evening, so most of the group decided to stay home for the evening. But my sister Erica and her husband Chris in their Jeep, and Carrie and I in our Jeep decided to go still experience some of the trails. Right as the sun was getting ready to set, the rain actually finished, which caused the clouds to drop down just below the tips of the mountains, which we were on top of. So as we came out into a clearing, we saw an absolutely gorgeous sunset we got to experience. Will always be a memorable moment for me, and that was gonna be number 2. Number 3, just a few years ago, well, in Wellsville, which is a more local off-road spot we've been going to for around 15 years now, we found a trail that they call Hell Trail, and we figured out why they called it Hell Trail. This is our second time running that trail. My buddy Jason was out leading the way. He had a passenger, which was a new to him spotter, kind of new to our group. He actually took his Jeep down what we would call a buggy line, and it caused his Jeep to actually flip over on its side pretty aggressively. Reverse! Reverse! Shit! Oh! So it took about a half an hour to get him back on all 4 tires, and about another hour and a half to get his vehicle running again. And he actually drove that thing home and drove it to work on Monday. Number 4 actually comes from that same trip in 2020. On day 1, we were down in Tennessee, and we misjudged how long the trails were gonna take. So we actually started our day at 10:30 in the morning and didn't get back home that night to the cabin until about midnight. Well, it was right around sunset, around 9 o'clock, that we were just finishing up Trail 16. At the end of Trail 16, there's a couple large hill climbs, and right then, of course, that was when the rain decided to come down with a torrential downpour. We have been on the trail since 10 o'clock this morning. It is 10:30. We've been in the rain for the last hour now. So we got to spend the last 2 hours getting off the trail, pulling winch line in downpouring rain. Got to get at least a little bit of video of the rain. Trying to get out of Trail 16, it is slick. It was a heck of a start for a week-long trip. Number 5 comes from 2014, and this was actually at a local off-road park called Bundy Hill Off-Road Park. So I had just purchased probably one of the most built Jeeps I've ever owned. It's a Jeep YJ on 42-inch tires, and I was trying to do probably one of the most aggressive washouts I've ever done before. Well, right when I decided to give up on trying to make that hill climb, my buddy Chris called out and said, "It's time for you to call it." I think that's where you call it, Paul. And when I put it in reverse, I'm not sure if it was operator error or vehicle failure. I still say it's vehicle failure, but the throttle stuck wide open, causing my vehicle to flop on its side as it lifted up on the hill and flopping on its top. Kind of the funny experience, at least for me it was funny, is my buddy Patrick was left hanging in his harness while I escaped the cab very quickly. And I just remember looking back and him screaming, "How do I get this thing undone?" But my fight or flight, I just got out of there as quick as I could. That's 5 of my most memorable moments in my 20 years experience off-roading. If you guys enjoy off-roading related content, make sure to give us a follow. And also, if you enjoyed this video, please give us a like. If you guys enjoy off-roading, gosh,